This particular cemetery on Pulau Ubin is located at the top of a steep slope called Jalan Is it Jalan what? So now we are at the learning lab. Hello, welcome to Funeral Fridays with Harmony, and today we are going to take a boat out to Pulau Ubin. As you can see, this is the jetty behind me, and we are going to explore the cemeteries there as well as places of interest there as well. So follow me and I'll take you on a tour. So we are here at Pulau Ubin! So this is a stage where in the past there are wayang shows being played out here. But you can see now it's really quite old and it has been there for 10 over years or more than that. Now we are at Pulau Ubin and this is a quarry, as you can see behind me. And in the past, Pulau Ubin was known for the granites in the 1960s and 1970s, which is why when you translate the name to in Malay, it means Granite Island. It was once home to hundreds of families back then. However, now fewer than 50 residents remain on this island today. So now we are at Ubin Living Lab and it's next to another campsite. It's Enduk Senin campsite. And if you do not know the history of Pulau Ubin, a lot of granite used to be mined from Pulau Ubin to be used for construction of certain iconic landmarks in Singapore, for example, the Raffles Lighthouse and even Istana. And in the past, Pulau Ubin had its name called Granite Island precisely because the granites were mined from this particular island to be used for construction for such iconic landmarks in Singapore. So it was quite an important place for Singapore back then. So little do you know that Pulau Ubin is the second natural largest island around Singapore, second to Pulau Tekong, which is where all the army boys have to go to for their PMT. Is it me or has the air just gone cooler? I'm just kidding, here it's upslope, so I cycle upslope. It's really a bit tedious, but we have arrived at where we are supposed to be for our Funeral Fridays with Harmony, which is at Kampong Bukit Coffee Chinese Cemetery. Ta-da! And it's one of the 3 cemeteries we have here in Pulau Ubin. This particular cemetery is located at the top of a steep slope called Jalan Wat Siam, which was named after a famous Thai temple which had many devotees years ago on this particular small island. However, because the government wanted to build a quarry in this area in 2007, this particular Thai temple was relocated to Sengkang on mainland island Singapore. And if you Google online, you might find accidents, in particular bicycle accidents that happened here along this steep slope, Jalan Wat Siam. So do take note, if you are cycling here, do remember to slow down when you approach this particular slope because it can look deceivingly not steep. However, it is at 30 to 45 degrees and for novice cyclists, it might be a little bit dangerous. Ever wondered what happens if someone passes away on this particular island, Pulau Ubin? So a few years back, we did a case where the person passed away at Pulau Ubin. Many years ago, there were funerals being conducted here. However, in recent years, if let's say someone do pass away on this island, we will have to have a doctor to come here to certify the cause of death. Very similar, actually, it's the same like on mainland Singapore. And then the body could be shipped back to Singapore, where the funeral would be conducted and where the body can either be cremated or buried. So, are you ready to continue cycling? So we are going to take a look at the German Girl Shrine and we'll see how it is. There's a Barbie doll there, I heard. We have now arrived at the German Girl Shrine, and this shrine was built because of a story, and of course we don't know if it's true, but based on the story, what happened was there used to be a German family who owned a coffee plantation here on Pulau Ubin, and when the war broke out, the British military soldiers actually captured this family, and there was this little girl whose identity was unknown, who was only 18 years old back then. And what happened was she went missing and was found the next day, covered in ants by the plantation workers. And we don't know exactly what happened to her, but it was speculated that she fell off a cliff and then lost her life. So this shrine was then built after she was given a proper burial, of course, and the shrine was built to offer offerings to her. And if you can take a look at the shrine, there are various items that are offered to her. So as you can see behind me, these are the remaining houses where people stay on Pulau Ubin. As you can see, there's still the kampong spirit that we have kept here, in contrast to the tall buildings in mainland Singapore, where all of us are housed in high density buildings like housing development block flats as well as private apartments. So life here is also probably a lot slower and simpler, but maybe also a bit happier. So you guys might be wondering, how did Pulau Ubin come about? Legend had it that there were 3 animals in the past: an elephant, a frog and a pig, who actually set a race to see who could reach Johor first, and those who couldn't make it to Johor would be turned into stone. So the frog couldn't make it and it became Pulau Seduku, whereas the pig as well as the elephant kind of like merged together and were separated. They became 2 islands because they also could not reach Johor, and they became rocks, and they were separated by the Julatong River, which now both of them combined together become Pulau Ubin. Okay, so we have arrived at another cemetery. However, this time around it's a Muslim cemetery, and it's Kampong Sungi Durian Muslim Cemetery. We have come to the heritage tree on Pulau Ubin, and as you can see, this very majestic looking very tall tree can actually reach 40 meters in height. That's about 20 times of my height, because I'm only 1.65, so it's more than 20 times. And it has a very deep girth as well. It was named a heritage tree in 2003, which is about 8 years ago, and it's called Common Pulai. So you can see it's circular patterns. It really provides good shade, and it stands out among the rest of the other trees here. Java wetlands, and we're gonna explore the area. Let's go! now at the mangrove walk, and we are gonna go for a walk because unfortunately the coastal walk is actually closed for maintenance, so we hope to see a little bit of it at least. And I'm getting really dark, as you can see. Now we're at the coastal walk, and part of it is closed for maintenance, but we can still walk segments of it, and it's pretty beautiful. Just that it's a bit hot here. There are no shade, and you can see there, over there, it's Pulau Ubin, where the army boys go for their BMT, and over at that side, it's actually Malaysia, where the industrial buildings are. Got bitten by mosquitoes. As you can see, this house is currently closed at the moment. However, we're going to bring you behind the house, and you can see that there's actually a place where you can take really beautiful Instagram worthy photos, and it's a nice view unblocked. Let's go! It's 4 PM and it's a Sunday today, so there are a lot of people, and we have kind of explored the whole of this island except for the part where it's bounded as Outward Bound Singapore, OBS, and the private resort. But so far it's been a fruitful day, and we are ready to head back home. If you found this information useful, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next episode on Funeral Fridays with Harmony. See ya!